Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and we are live in UFRL, and this is Tier 2, where we will be heading to the Bahrain International Circuit for round 2 of 12. And as you can see, the first race headed away of victory to the Alpine of Gandalf, back-to-back runner-up in Tier 2 from seasons 7 and 8. Can he finally take his crown in season 9? Silky Stevens and Salty Stevens are two brothers, also on the podium for Kick Sauber and Williams. Boy knockout fourth, and Willie Fernandez getting an excellent fifth place on his return to Tier 2, having been in Tier 3 since changing to wheel. Warren and Mickey, Frenchie, Potwash and Iceman 86 also securing a top 10 finish. Parkour also racing tonight. That'll be her first race in Tier 2 since last season. And Williams lead away in the championship. It is a 26-point advantage over Visa RB. Mercedes in third, Alpine in fourth. You could say Visa RB, Mercedes and Alpine are typically the three who over the last couple of seasons have been up there, but Williams may very well just be the surprise factor for the season. Pesci building a very strong team for season 9, whereas season 7 and season 8, perhaps he went the wrong route with some drivers, but this time he looks like he's got maybe nailed on, but he did overspend as well. So we'll see how it goes for Pesci. But Williams, Visa RB, Mercedes, Alpine, Red Bull in there, Kick Sauber as well. They all still have a shot, that's for sure. But anything can happen. A long season, still 12 races. It may not sound too long, but with 3 tiers combined in that, anything can genuinely happen. Right, we have got some drivers out on track, and as you can see, let's get the game sound on. And there you go. So the first driver who will actually be about to set a start in time will be EM69. He started out as well last night in Tier 1. So that was just a reserve opportunity. Well, tonight, it's a full-time opportunity for EM in the Ferrari. And he'll land it all the way into Turn 1. As we also say good evening to both Parkour and to Coffee in the chat, and to Mr. Potwash as well. Now, we are live across both Twitch and TikTok for this evening. The TikTok is UFRL underscore F1. The Twitch UFRL Formula 1. And EM69 and just taking you into Sector 2, out of turns 4 and leading you into turns 5, 6 and 7. Of course, does go purple in the first sector and will lead you all the way into the hairpin down at turn 8. It does take the right hander right onto the curb on the outside nicely. That will take you all the way into turns 9 and 10. A tricky double left-hander. I can very much see you go straight on the outside curb. Not as bad as it had been on previous games, however. I think 23 in particular. I think it was quite bad on that one. Dutch Beast serving an engine penalty this evening. I think 2 other drivers are as well. ARC Mickey and I think the other one is Silky Stevens. So those 3 will not set a qualifying time as EM comes out of turn 13. And all the way up to turn 14 as the Mercedes just making sure they're out of the way of the Ferrari. And let's see how he takes turns 14 and 15. A double right-hander, although he didn't really take it particularly well because he near enough cut the corner, but EM's first lap time will be a 1:28.750, and the Mercedes behind him trying to get a bit of slipstream in his start of a lap will drop down. Silky Stevens has been disqualified. Well, it probably doesn't really matter because he has actually got that engine penalty. And Parkour, there you go, 28.3, and it's quickest for the Red Bull. Let's drop it to Angry Badger, who's opted for the medium tyres along with Epic Frenchie for the start of this. So an interesting strategy from the McLaren and Ferrari. Gonna be honest, if there's a safety car, you might very well need those medium tyres because this track is not particularly good on the tyre wear. You do not want to unnecessarily use medium tyres, I think, in qualifying. 34.1 for Badger, and he's going to go quicker now. I'm going to be honest, I think he's wasting a set of tyres. Same with Epic Frenchie. I think they'll be wiser to have kept those tyres. DD Friend 29.1 goes P3, former Tier 3 driver as well. Just making a move up this season. And Gandalf does go quickest as well. So Gandalf with a 28.2, 1.5 tenths ahead of Parkour, who's down to P2 now. So Parkour, who won 3 races out of 6 last season, Gandalf, a back-to-back runner-up in Tier 2, so both of them will be confident of getting some good points this evening. Doug, P5, 29.3, and Epic Frenchie, 29.4, goes into P6. Doug is actually racing in place of Rotti. I've only just noticed that one. But there you go. Willie Fernandez about to get up to the line using all of his deploy, and it's a 29.5, goes 8th fastest. Viking Fox, purple through the first sector. The shot tourist, Mr. Potwash, up to the line. Good evening to Mr. Poem, and good evening to Destroyer Drac, game kick 2. I will send you an invite. Or Merc, I think Merc should get you the invite on that one. I will do it just in case, though. I don't know if Merc's on the stream or not, so I will just pop an invite through if I could find your name if you're online. Did I skip past your name? I probably did if you're online. You're not online, Drac. Oh, this ain't good. Okay, if you need an invite next time, oh, sent the wrong person an invite. Ask Merc. You have to ask Merc if an invite didn't go through. I didn't know if I sent the right or wrong person one. Alright, Viking Fox is just about to get a timing, but yeah, definitely ask Merc on that one, Jack, if you didn't get one. I was waiting in the pits, everyone was going to pass on the fly laps that disqualified you. Yeah, I know. Yeah, the game does that. Luckily, you've got an engine penalty anyway, so it's not too bad. 28-2. It's probably the best thing, really, that could have happened. And also, you start right at the back, meaning you don't have to get involved in anything ahead. So yeah, I would say it could be seen as a positive that you've got nobody behind you, so it doesn't really factor in too much there. Viking Foxo does look quick, and Drac does get back in. By knockout then, we'll head into the pits. And then you've got the Ferrari of EM, who is using some hot lap. I do wonder, is he going to start a lap? It looks like he will. So he's going to go for another run. P5 at the moment, EM, which is a solid qualifying outing for him, but obviously a lot of time to go. Mr. Potwash into the pits. Willie Fernandez running again, and he will burn his battery into turn 1 as well. Can we drop to anyone else who's on a lap? The answer to that question is no, simply because nobody else is on a lap. Let's see. Thank God I would be fuming if I didn't have an engine penalty. Yeah, I'll be honest, there's going to be some mental dive bombs on lap 1, but we move. I mean, as long as the overtakes is clean, I suppose. But yeah, we never know what's going to happen. Hopefully turn 1 isn't going to be too bad. I mean, the worst I think I remember seeing a turn 1 was probably a few seasons ago with Doug and I think Wilco both tried to go down the inside of cars. That didn't go too well, I'll say that much. Let's just have a double check. DD Fern hasn't validated. You've got EM not improving in the middle sector. Warrener just into turn 4. So we're going to just go towards EM and then we can drop it down towards Willie Fernandez, see if the Mercedes is improving. Which I'm just going to double check now. Into the split, he is improving. Right, so let's go back towards EM then. But yeah, the Ferrari, can he get a better time? Race control will be watching. Thank you for the confirmation. Always clean, my friends. Just don't back up the penalty points doing it, right? 28-3 for EM. And there you go, that slots him up to P4. He does look pretty decent here in qualifying EM. Woody Fernandez, 28-8, does improve and goes 7th fastest. And we've got Warner about to go as well. Parkour just starting a 2nd lap as well. Potentially on used tyres, I do wonder. I can't remember if it was this season in Baku and I forgot to break turn 1 ledge. It took out 5 cars. Not too sure. Yeah, I was alluding to that one between Doug and Wilco when he sent it down the inside. I say sent it, it's more didn't break soon enough. I don't think... I wouldn't expect anyone to try and make a move like they were doing. I think it was just breaking too late, to be honest. But yeah, parkour, right, let's see what time the Red Bull can set behind Viking Fox and behind Gandalf at this moment in time from the Tier 2 driver. Just hopefully, you don't want to be picking up too much sand at this track in particular. You might have to bag it all up at the end. But yeah, parkour, let's see what she can do. Goes 2/10 faster through the middle sector. Could be on for a 28-1 potentially. Or even getting a 28-0, I think she'll be happy with. Depends what the final sector is like, just heading into turns 14 and 15. With a double, I say double right, it's not really a double right, really, if we're going to be real. But parkour, let's set a time, and it will be a 28-1, and it is the quickest qualifying time this evening for the Red Bull, ahead of both Viking and Gandalf, who drops down to P2 and P3 respectively. EM just moving aside, it seems, for the Williams. And that means that we'll drop down to, yep, you've got it, a Williams. Let's drop to Salty Stevens then, because he is obviously the one on a lap, burning all his battery, in fact using all of his deploy as well, out of turns 14 and 15, and is a 28.6 and goes up to P7 ahead of Willy Fernandez. And Willy Fernandez just seemingly letting Doug have a bit of slipstream there. Going to be interesting, a tier 3 combination of last season in the form of Willy Fernandez and Doug. And they're both combining here for Mercedes tonight. That will be an intriguing prospect to see. Doug doesn't tend to be up player in tier 3, but last week, of course, he got a magnificent podium, a superb strategy call, and there you go, superb stuff last week from Mr. Douglas himself. Willy Fernandez, of course, reached a top 5 finish in tier 2 in the end, so the two Mercedes did put in a strong performance during last week's events. Can they continue that form this week is the question. Epic Frenchie just getting up to the line. It's P2! What a qualifying time by Epic Frenchie! That was epic! And that is superb from him. Absolutely brilliant. He is just behind Parkour now and applying some pressure. This opens up this qualifying session for sure. Salty Stevens, and we just saw him a moment ago. Badger's invalidated. Let's drop towards Mr. Potwash then. You've also got Woody on a lap as well. But yeah, what a time by Frenchie. Potwash does improve. It does improve. It's P16 still with a 29.5. Woody then gaining by almost 4/10 of a second. He's normally strong in qualifying. Is he going to be strong tonight? Can he get himself into the 28s even? Normally, you're much quicker than that when you compare to the front runners in tier 2 in qualifying, as he does run wide and therefore calls it quits and heads into the pits there. Angry Badger reaches the line and starts another run. I've got to say, burning so much battery. Not sure how much he's going to have left come the end of this lap. DD Friend improving through the first sector by about 1/10 of a second. But yes, teammate Epic Frenchie will be very happy with that one. If Parkour wins by 7+ seconds, she has to go to Division 1. I'll be honest, I don't even think she needs to win by 7+ seconds after last night's performance in Tier 1. We'll see, obviously, what Parkour can do tonight. But yeah, Epic Frenchie, Viking Fox, Gandalf, all within 1/10 of a second of Parkour. So that top 4 looks strong. Destroyer Jack, EM as well, in 6th place. I mean, yeah, you could say that top 6 right now are looking very solid during this qualifying session. Who's a bigger surprise? I mean, for me, the two bigger surprises are probably Frenchie and EM. I say especially Epic Frenchie because he actually tends to qualify outside the top 10 and then makes his way into the top 10 during the races. But all of a sudden tonight, Epic Frenchie is 2nd fastest. Doug not improving through the middle sector, down by about 2 seconds. And Angry Badger has invalidated, so nobody's on a run at the moment. Therefore, we will take you to EM, because guess who started the lap? Yeah, EM then, 28.3 at the moment. And we'll see if the Ferrari can improve. 4.5 minutes remaining here in qualifying. There are 18 minutes in total, of course. And this is where you'll get your starting grid position for the 50% race distance, which again will be a high tyre wear race. Please mention... yes. How are we getting on track? I'm guessing you might not know, because you're obviously taking part in qualifying. Let's have a look. Are we currently doing it at the moment? I don't even know. What time are we doing it, Jack? If you're able to let me know whilst you're in the pits. And I'll try and update in the stream if I can. Obviously, if there's a safety car, I'll be able to give an update or two. If not too much is happening at some stage, which is fairly unlikely, then I'll be able to give more mentions on it. But yeah, just let me know what time we're due to start, and then obviously I'll have enough information there. Right, EM then up by 4/10 of a second. 4/10! EM is absolutely flying here. Just over 3 minutes remaining in qualifying. EM may very well go provisional pole position here. and may even set a sub 128 if he's able to. He's burning all of his battery, using all of his deploy. Is it a sub 28? It is! It's a 27.8! And it is provisional pole by EM69. A superb lap here by the Ferrari. And now, Parkour, Frenchie, Viking, Gandalf, Destroyer Jack, what do you have to offer here? Can you outpace EM in qualifying? That was absolutely superb by the Ferrari there. Boy knockout then, as our EM has retired on track, which will result in a penalty to the Ferrari, unfortunately. It is during qualifying, but that is a penalty. I don't know if Merck has probably got that on the race control. Presume he has. Or at least one of the race controls have got it anyways. But yeah, that is a retirement on track. So sadly, if you're Angry Badger, probably you want to let him know that you can't be doing that. Because that's just, really, if we're going to be honest, that's a highly unnecessary penalty as well. Boy Knockout, meanwhile, did actually improve himself a 28.0, and he goes second fastest. Interesting that people are starting their laps before the checker flags. Well, obviously you need to do it before the checker flags are out, but what I mean, you're finishing a lap before the checker flags are out, which is intriguing. Gandalf is going. Warner also on a run on 8. Iceman 86 as well. Less than 2 minutes of qualifying remains, so these people, well, they're not going to be able to go for another run if they burn all their battery, that's for sure. And you've got Gandalf, Warner, DD Friendo and Iceman already on a lap with, well, there's obviously over 1.5 minutes to go. So, yeah, they're going to get across the line and they're going to have to keep going round for another lap after lap, even if they don't have enough battery. Let's see what Warner can do then. A 28.5, of course, again, another former Tier 3 driver of last season. Very, very quick in the races he did. And Warner up to the line. It's a 28.0, and it's third fastest for the Williams of Warner, just slotting in behind EM and Boy Knockout. And that'll be the last time for Warner this evening. What about the McLaren of DD Friend, who is just in the middle sector at the moment? Anybody else? You've got Badger, you've got Iceman as well. Yeah, let's drop towards Iceman 86. I may just have a look. Boy Knockout. Nah. We'll go back towards Iceman 86 and just heading into turns 14 and 15. Yeah, if you let... I suppose Jack may not be able to let me know until he's completed a lap, actually. Unless the race control knows, obviously. If race control knows, feel free to let me know. Iceman 86 OP11 28.909. DD Friend improving by about 0.4 of a second. And also got the two Alpines both on the 4th row right now. DD Friend goes into the top 10 at 28.845 for him. And there is an improvement, is there? No, not quite. The two Alpines then still together there as Gandalf runs into turns 1 and 2. And he'll be looking to improve on a provisional P7. There is an improvement. Woody up into 9th position now. And Angry Badger rises up to P12. What about Viking Fox? He's into the pits. He's not going to improve on a P6 then for Viking. I do wonder if he'll be a little bit disappointed about that. Warner, of course, the checker flags are already out. So Warner is just going to go to the line. But he's not going to improve on this run. So let's drop it towards... We just saw DD. So we're going to drop towards Epic Frenchie, who did surprise us with that run into P2 earlier on. If he can recover a P2 again, he will be thrilled. Epic Frenchie then to the line. It enough for P5, sadly. Not an improvement on that lap. We've still got Parkour, who's coming up to the line now. Parkour, quickest! 27.7. EM's time is smashed. And Parkour is on provisional pole now. You've got the two Mercedes. Woody Fernandez P11. Doug P12. Mr. Potwash, the next driver to take you to the line. And Mr. Potwash is going to go into P16. Not enough of an improvement there. Destroyer Drac, P6 for him. Gandalf is also improving. Where can he place his Alpine? It's only enough for P8. Is Woody improving? No, he is not. Not the qualifying session he would have liked. DD Friend into the pits. Angry Badger is also on a run. Iceman in the pits as well. And we'll just have to watch out. Boy Knockout is not going to be able to go to the line. And Angry Badger takes the decision. He is into the pits. And that means pole position is confirmed. And Parkour, as you were probably expecting after last night's Tier 1 event, has taken pole position here. but it's only by about a tenth of a second. EM did look quick in this qualifying session. Boy knockout Warrener, that is on to the second row. Epic Frenchie, he'll be delighted about the third row start with Destroyer, Jack, Viking Fox and Gandalf. Look how close that is, by the way, between Epic Frenchie to Gandalf. 200ths of a second between those four drivers, and P5 down to P8. Just having a look, see what's happening at the moment. Nothing's actually happening. Well, it's not our driver, so it doesn't matter too much what's going on right now. Jack, if you're able to reply now at all, let me know what time the event is happening, and then I can speak more about it. Well, okay, they're racing at the Netherlands, I see. But yeah, Jack, just let me know what time they are starting. Is it the Bird? I think it's the Bird and I want to say Pesci tonight. Oh, Hayes, they might know. If somebody's able to let me know what time they're actually starting their qualifying, though, that'll be ideal. But anyways, Parkour does to secure pole position. It's a 27.788 and a M69 P2 from Boy Knockout and Warrener. Epic Frenchie, Destroyer Jack, Viking Gandalf, Woody and Salty Stevens in the top 10. And the two Mercedes, followed by DD, Badger, Iceman, Potwash, Mickey. And then you've got Beast and also, who's the last driver? Silky Stevens, I do believe, starting at the rear end of the field. Of course, it is dry. Being Bahrain, it's unlikely to have rain. Anyways, thank you. It is 8:45 p.m. and yes, it is Bird and Pesci in ERS. Okay, yeah. So they are racing at 8:4. Qualifying, isn't it? It's just qualifying. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, 8:45 p.m. So 20 minutes from now, I can hopefully start doing some updates on that as well as we go forward in this race as well. Obviously, when it's not too much in terms of the racing, we can sort of have a glimpse over to see what they're doing. Fingers crossed. But yeah, at the moment, the qualifying session, no, it's nearly finished actually. The one that's, I'm guessing, this qualifying session is the one before the Pesci and Bird one. This one has about 90 seconds remaining. So, yeah, they're getting close. But yeah, Bird and Pesci will be taking part effectively in an ERS qualifying session. And this is in the esports team for UFRT, which is Ultimate Formula Racing Team, rather than Ultimate Formula Racing League. So that's the difference between that. So yeah, in the esports team, that'll be in about 20 minutes time from now, 8:45 p.m. And that will be a qualifying session that Pesci and the Bird are trying to compete in and secure a qualification. But yeah, obviously we'll know a bit more after the session's ended, hopefully, and see if we have qualified or not. But obviously the main thing for tonight in terms of the league is the race, and this tier 2 race is going to be hopefully a belter. Several drivers are up to hopefully take a win for themselves, of course, and for their teams. Their teams are much needing that victory. Anyways, I'll be back in a minute or two. We'll see how long, just to get a drinks break, and then we'll get started for this Bahrain Grand Prix. Right then, we are back and we will be getting started in about a minute or two. Now the ready up time is due to be 8:32 p.m. EM, invite me, okay? One of the race control will send you an invite, mate. But yeah, we'll be getting started in a moment or two. So let's see how this race unfolds. Again, it is parkour on pole position. But very close battle for pole that was. With EM performing strongly to take that P2. But although he is disconnected, so therefore it may not go as well for him as he would have hoped, sadly, in the race. Simply because he won't be there from the start. Maybe, okay, have I got enough time to send you an invite? If I've got enough time, I will, which I think I just about do. I'll get a message now to ready up. There you go. You should be able to join on that one, actually. But yeah, people need to, a invite. Mainly, you should be letting race control know. Just pop it in the lounge. Ideally not on the stream, because I won't be sending invites through the race. So you need to make sure you ask Mr. P and or Merc. Probably both would be better. More likely to get an invite. But they'll probably see that you've been disconnected anyway, especially through the race. But anyways, the timer is ticking. We will get underway here in this race. This is UFRL and this is your Tier 2 race from the Bahrain International Circuit. 5 red lights here and it is go, go, go. Parkour gets away superbly and Boy Knockout launches off the line well and straight away immediately up into the second place and a bit of a goal. The Williams there of Salty Stevens receives a 10-second penalty for corner cutting. But it is a strong start for Parkour, Knockout and Frenchy, who's under pressure from Warner, who's going to go down the inside. Warner does not quite make out, and you've got Viking from Gandalf at EM, who is back into the lobby, but down into 7th place. ARC Mickey has had a problem at the rear end, and after his engine penalty, drops to P19. So it is for one. Oh, what a kick sab of Silky Stevens! Down the inside, launching a move on EM, and out of nowhere, he's up into the top 7 now. EM still just getting back into business after being disconnected from the lobby. A bit of contact there. I think it was Doug making a bit of contact into Drac, and it loses him a place to Mr. Potwash, and he may just lose out to Willie Fernandez as well, and Salty Stevens and DD Friend also looking at a battle here with DD and Angry Badger had a look down the inside of Iceman 86 as well, and still having battles. Willie Fernandez losing out to Salty Stevens, who has made a good start, after the poor 10-second penalty. He's just starting to make up a few more places now, and he's attacking Doug. And this is to get himself up into P11. Woody and Dutch Beast having a battle at the rear of the field. The Aston Martin as a has, as you can see right at the back of this shot. And down the inside, there goes Salty Stevens. It's really attacking on Mr. Potwash and the 2 Mercedes. Woody Fernandez does bypass Doug. And also DD Friend makes his way through. They're really scrapping for positions here at the tail end of the field. And Potwash and Willie Fernandez also going side by side. Little bit of contact there. And that does compromise the line of Mr. Potwash. And DD Friend sails round the outside. And DD is up at a P12 now. And he does take the place away. Salty Stevenson rounding out on EM. And Salty's got himself into the top 9. He's got Destroyer Track directly ahead of him. But the battles continue to occur further down the field. I've got to say, Parkour is running away, already almost 2 seconds clear, and you can very much say, and the Aston Martin, what is that? Iceman 86 makes a move of this. Mr. Potwash round. Mr. Potwash round. It's absolute mayhem in Tier 2 so far. You've got Badger making a dive on Iceman 86 as well. Dutch Beast behind from Woody and ARC Mickey, who has now caught up to the pack. We're just going to go back up the field towards Willie Fernandez, making a move on the inside of EM and succeeding at that. And look at that bit of contact there, EM and DD. Friend, looked like EM may have just ran into DD. And he's having a bit of a battle with Badger. He's having a battle with Iceman. He's having a battle with everybody. And EM86 just losing places here. And Dutch Beast, I've got to say, Tier 2, you've got to calm yourself down, lads. Calm yourselves down. This is absolutely ferocious racing so far. And EM, what's that? An Aston Martin decided they don't want to take the corner correctly. So that's a move being made there. The two Aston Martins going side by side. Woody scrapping at DD and EM. Salty overtakes Strack in the meantime. Parkour continues to extend her advantage in what is looking like her final Tier 2 race. But DD Friend goes down the inside on Iceman, and Iceman takes it back to see they are going to run side by side. Can they keep it clean? Yes, they can. And DD Friend now up into P14. Don't forget Iceman, the reigning Tier 3 champion. DD Friend was in Tier 3 last season. Woody having a battle here with ARC Mickey and EM. This is probably the type of battle that ARC Mickey does not want to be involved in. This runs up to P10, luckily for him. But he's not going to be too keen on this, although he does make the move now on Woody and up into P16. I don't think Mickey's going to be too keen on this battle. He's going to be thinking in his mind, well, if ARC Mickey can sort of rise up, then he'll be alright. But down in P16, this is not the type of position he'll be used to being in. And yeah, ARC Mickey, a lot of work to do to put himself back up the field here, with Woody directly behind him. Let's have a look at the front of the field then. For a very rare time when he's opening 3 laps so far. You've got Boy Knockout tracking down Epic Frenchie and running close. Let's have a look at the tyre situation. The top 4, Parkour, Frenchie, Boy Knockout and Viking, all opting for the medium compound tyre. Soft tyres for Salty Stevens, Dutch Beast and Woody. Now, was that a 2-stop strategy on the cards? It's got to be, surely. And there you go, down the inside, Boy Knockout goes on Epic Frenchie, still over 2 seconds back from Parkour. And Parkour really running away here, getting maximum points, it looks like, for the Red Bull team, before she runs off to Tier 1, which I think is very much fair. I mean, in a sense that she'll get the maximum points and she won't have a chance to fight for the title, simply because she's obviously going to be looking like she's too quick for it. If we're being honest here, she is absolutely dominating this race, and it's only 4 laps in, but she's been running away since the start. Mr. Potwatch and EM, looks like EM may just be disconnected again. He's really struggling with his connection, it looks like. Angry Badger as well, also going for the move, this time on Dutch Beast. Dutch Beast just losing out, and Badger now putting alongside on the outside of Willie Fernandez. This is over P11 and P12. Willie Fernandez on the inside, Badger on the outside, and in comes Dutch Beast as well, but they all stay in the exact same places, and it's still Willie P11, Badger P12, Beast P13. Does Doug have a bit of damage? It doesn't look like it on that picture. I thought it may have picked up some damage on lap 1, but he didn't actually pick up any damage when he ran into the rear of Destroyer Drac, so he's been lucky to avoid anything there. Yeah, as I did say, Hazer, you need to ask, the invites need to be given by Merc. I think Merc's the only one in. I don't think even Mr. Poem's in, so EM needs to add Merc to be able to get an invite in. But yes, that's the normal way to do it anyway. In the races, we're obviously going to be trying to focus on the race, which makes sense. So yeah, EM needs to add Merc. Right, Boy Knockout and Epic Frenchie again going side by side here as Parkour continues to streak clear, and it is an overtake there by Boy Knockout up into P2, and still the battle's unfolding further back. Dutch Beast this time having a look on Angry Badger. Is Badger going to fight this one? Yes, he is, all the way into turn 4 as well, but it is an inside line for Beast, an outside line for Badger, and Dutch Beast fighting his way up into the top 12 behind Willie Fernandez. The 2 Mercedes are just ahead of the Aston Martin now. It looks like Mercedes are just trying to work together here between Doug and Willie Fernandez. I'm a little bit surprised that Doug's got the freedom to be the driver ahead. I thought they may have looked to have switched places effectively, but no, they've opted with what they've gone with. ARC Mickey now having a look on DD Friendly. He's really struggling though. After that engine penalty, he's down in P15. I know he may make a move here on DD for P14, which he does, but he is almost 3 seconds behind the top 13, which is not where we are accustomed to seeing where ARC Mickey is. That is not a normal position. No, there's a bit of contact there. It looked like Iceman just hitting into DD Friend, and that is possibly a penalty for the Aston Martin, and it is going to be a couple of places lost from what I can see by DD Friend. Let's go back up the field and towards Boy Knockout, and you've got Frenchie and now Viking and Wavener as well. So 4 drivers trying to combine. Can they catch Parkour with 4 drivers all involved in this? Got to say though, one thing. This man here, Epic Frenchie, has had an excellent race, or an excellent evening up to now. Again, I know it's only 6.5 laps into the race. We've had a qualifying session, but this is probably his best outing in Tier 2 yet. He could even be on the cards for a podium. Let's drop back down towards Angry Badger, having another look on the inside of Willie Fernandez. Losing out, and Dutch Beast had a chance on the outside. Badger, squirmy, losing the place, and Dutch Beast finds his way through. And now Badger runs a little bit wide, and Dutch Beast, though, is up into P12 as a result. The two Mercedes stand ahead, but Dutch Beast ahead of Angry Badger again. What about Woody having a look on the inside of ARC Mickey, and he does seem to have got the place done. Mickey allowing it to happen, it seems. But yeah, I'm not sure what's happening to ARC Mickey this evening. Very much lower than where you often see him. He's on the hard tyres, maybe that could be a reason. Not really, because a lot of drivers are also on the hard tyres. You've got, in fact, 5 drivers in that top 10 are on the hard tyres. Our battle going on at the front here. Big battle. Frenchie, knockout, Viking. Side by side, knockout with Viking Fox. And a bit of a squeeze and allowing the Haas to fight through. And Viking's going to get the double, is he? Down the inside on Epic Frenchie. And Viking Fox, has he got it? Or is he going to be moving for the Visa? The Visa knockout trying to get through, but he's not able to, and Viking powered his way through on Epic Frenchie, and up into P2 he goes. So as a Haas ahead from Frenchie, knockout, and Warner now has been able to catch back up to this battle in P5. Can he get his teammate Salty in there? Don't forget you've got Silky behind Salty, the two brothers, both podium sitters last week. Silky Stevens up 12 places so far. Incredible performance from him. His brother is up 4 places, but unfortunately he's also got a 10-second penalty to play with, so good luck with that one. You'll obviously have to serve that in the pits anyway, so however Salty Stevens wants to play it will be fascinating, as very close together there between Frenchie, Viking, Boy Knockout and Warner. Parkour now leading by 4.5 seconds. But again, I'm pretty certain this will be Parkour's final race in Tier 2. I don't think there'll be any denial of that, because it's just been such a strong performance across last night and tonight. I think Parkour probably knows right now that she'll be heading to Tier 1 and is trying to score maximum points, because you might as well. Right, Epic Frenchie then down behind Boy Knockout now, and you got Warner there, Salty and Silky about a second adrift now, and side by side here coming Warner on the inside, Frenchie round the outside, the two Stevens also scrapping it out further adrift, and it looks like the kick Sauber of Silky's got past Salty, but Warner is overtaken Epic Frenchie and into the top 4 now. What about Boy Knockout still behind Viking Fox? Further back, Doug, Angry Badger, Woody Fernandez, Dutch Beast are all there. Woody and Mickey have caught up as well. Angry Badger overtook Woody Fernandez and is up into P11, so that's up 3 spots now for him. But the biggest gains, as you can see, Vikings up 5, so he's had a very strong race up to now. Yellow flags for Woody, it looks like, on the... yeah, it is Woody. Just into the middle sector there, out of turn 8, through the hairpin, and Woody started getting the yellow flags. But as you can see here, Viking Fox and Silky Stevens are 2 drivers with the most positions gained in this race. Several drivers have actually held on to their place, as Woody now makes his move on the inside, or Warner rather, has a move on the inside of Boy Knockout. Very close together. Into the pits goes Viking Fox, and here comes these two, both with DRS, don't forget. Boy Knockout and Warner. Into the pits goes Parkour as well. Who's got the greater advantage? Braking later, Boy Knockout. And has he got the move round the outside? Yes, he has. Knockout preserves P1. Does he get DRS or not? No, he doesn't. DRS is activated by Warner, who is going to close the gap again, but not able to make a move. And all of these 5 drivers trying to work in tandem, but it doesn't look like they're going to have a chance to stop Parkour. Yellow flags again as Angry Badger on this occasion in the Ferrari, dropping down to P14. And Silky Stevens has a look for another avenue of an overtake of Warner, having just made the pass on Epic Frenchie as well, and does have an opportunity here, just slipping in behind. Warner on this occasion has a look on the inside as well. A little bit of smoke coming out of the rear of Warner, but holds on to P2 as further down the field. Moves being made. Dutch Beast, I'm just going to have a little look towards Beast, losing out here to both the Red Bulls now. Parkour and ARC Mickey, so a mistake formed by the Aston Martin. But Parkour having made that pit stop behind Willie Fernandez. And compare that to the other driver who made the pit stop was Viking Fox in the Haas, who we did just see right in the background of this battle. But now Parkour down the inside of Willie Fernandez. Little bit of contact between them. Keep it clean, keep it stable. And that is what Parkour has done. And she has got the move on Willie Fernandez and back up into P9 now. Moves being made here again as we see Silky Stevens catching up to Warner and going down the inside of Warner to take the race lead again. Can he get it? Yes, he can. And Silky Stevens leads. Boy Knockout, Salty Stevens and Epic Frenchie, the trio, all into the pits when they were all battling for that net P2 behind Parkour in this Grand Prix. And that is the stop situation there. Parkour, Viking, Knockout, Frenchie, Salty, Potwash, DD Friend and Woody have all made their pit stops thus far in this Grand Prix. As EM is out of the Grand Prix as well, unfortunately for him. Sadly, it is the disconnection problem. When you get disconnected, sometimes it does do that. Not a lot we can do, sadly, with that situation. Yeah, unfortunate for EM on that scenario. Right, Warner having another look around the outside on Silky Stevens, side by side. And Warner has got the place back, has he? Yes, he has. And he does take advantage and move up into P1. We're just going to see Silky Stevens then just settling in behind in P2. But these two are waiting that pit stop. Will they pit anytime soon? They're on the hard tyres, so they're probably going to have to try and play it long here unless they go for a two-stop. But most drivers won't be going for the two-stop. Some will, but the quicker strategy here at Bahrain is a one-stop strategy, whether that's medium to hard or hard to medium. So you don't really want to be pitting early, especially if you're on those hard tyres. And into the pits also there comes Iceman 86, getting rid of those mediums and going for the hard tyres. So ARC Mickey now starting to gain a bit as Doug does run into the back of him a little bit there. Nothing too much formed. But ARC Mickey up into the top 6 now after that move on to Mercedes and trying to stick at it. But Doug fighting round the outside and Doug does take it back here. So Doug up into the top 6. May have just caught ARC Mickey by surprise. And he has just got back at the Red Bull and may just give an opportunity to Willie Fernandez to break back into that DRS zone. That's if he can regain that DRS. He's just outside of the 1 second window at this moment in time. Mr. Potwash, meanwhile, round the outside on Angry Badger. Unable to take the place, however, and just preserving P14 Dutch Beast as well, directly behind them. This trio battling for P13. ARC Mickey back through now on Doug. So he has got the place back into the top 6. Doug Low on a narrow line. ARC Mickey taking the racing line. And Mickey for now stays ahead. But Doug, well, he's very much going to try and fight this. And he may even go for the overtake again. He's going to stop. He's going to 2-stop. Tyres are cooked. 1-stop is quicker around here. But if you are making mistakes, a 2-stop is probably better for you. But a 1-stop strategy is quicker at Bahrain. So it depends how you want to go. If you want to go quick or quicker, do the 1-stop. As Doug re-overtakes ARC Mickey there. You can go long on these hard tyres. Honestly, like, you can go 18, 19, 20 laps on them if you want to. I'm not saying they'll feel unbelievable, but the drop-off on hards isn't too bad compared to, say, softs in particular. But mediums aren't too bad. You can go about 10 laps on them. 10, 11, maybe 12 laps if you want to. If we have a look at the tyre situation, as you can see, nobody is on the medium tyres anymore, simply because mediums do not last that long here. I do think, say, DD Friend could probably try and take his tyres to the end, but I do believe he's likely going to have to pit again. Everybody else could do a one-stop from now. Apart from Parkour. What's Parkour doing? That's Parkour going for mediums for. You are not taking mediums to the end, that's for sure. So Parkour is going to have to stop again then. Which is interesting to see. Parkour will pit again, Badger will pit again, Mr. Potwash will pit again. Because guess what? They are not taking those tyres until the end. The only tyres that can go to the end from now are hard tyres. Again, the medium tyres are just not good at this track. In terms of keeping them together. You can get them good for somewhere between 10, maximum I'd say 12 laps. You don't want to go any longer than that, really. Whereas the hard can easily go up to about 20, maybe a little bit longer even. But yeah, I'd say 19 to 20 laps is probably the maximum you want to realistically go on the hards. But it's obviously up to the driver. If they can keep the tyres in check, they can go a bit longer. If not, they may even want to go less. ARC Mickey getting back through on Doug. These two certainly having a battle here. Doug keeping ARC Mickey on his toes. Not what Mickey would have expected to be seeing, that's for sure. DD Friend back through this time on Willie Fernandez. The Mercedes having just made that pit stop and dropping to P16. But he's on much fresher tyres than the McLaren ahead. So he's on the freshest tyres off this pack. He's actually on the freshest tyres of anybody who is on track right now, Willie Fernandez. I did also lose a place to Woody and maybe under pressure from the reigning Tier 3 champion Iceman 86 in the meantime in P18. No other major scraps are occurring. Parkour still net P1. See, is Parkour net P1? Probably not. Because Parkour's not going to the end on those medium tyres. I don't think Parkour's net P1 here. You could even argue, and you could make a case, Silky Stevens has got a very strong chance of coming out as the race winner here at Bahrain. A very strong chance. I mean, I know Parkour's been quick, but Parkour, right now, the gap to the leader, 10.7 seconds back. Yeah, I'm not sure on Parkour's strategy. If she's going to take those mediums to the end, good luck. Good luck on that, honestly. You'll probably get a puncture if you take those mediums to the end. So, yeah, Parkour, honestly, I'm not certain that strategy's the smartest. Doesn't mean that you're not going to stay in Tier 2, because for me, I will be advocating a move up to Tier 1. I know that much. We've seen your pace across the 2 days, and you have got plenty of pace. I think we also saw it in Tier 1, I want to say, might have been last season even. We did see a similar situation where it may have been Matthias was it Matthias? But somebody went for a two-stop strategy, and the two-stop got outpaced by the one-stop. But the driver on the two-stop was the quicker of the two. But it's just that the strategy just did not work. And the reason why it doesn't work, if you start on hard tyres and you go 19 laps, guess when the pit window is for a two-stop strategy for their second stop? It's about the same lap. You want to be pitting about lap 19, maybe 20. And therefore, what does that mean? Yes, they're pitting around the same time, but the one stop versus the two stop. There you go. It does make sense. Right, Boy Knockout then ahead of Viking Fox. And Viking Fox should be able to make his way back through, although they do both have the aid of DRS here. And that's just stopping Viking Fox getting ahead of Boy and Knockout. So he's just going to have to stay in behind. Let's go back to the stop situation there. And as you can see, we're down to just 6 drivers yet to pit, but a few more have to pit regardless. You say it, wait. The Kick Sauber. Who's a Kick Sauber? Silky Stevens. What, Silky Stevens? Silky Stevens should just go hard to medium. Just do it. Right, Mr. Potwash goes through an Angry Badger. For me, the optimal pit stop time, I would say, anywhere between 17 to 19. I'd say the optimal. Viking Fox, though, does get through on Doug. And you've got to factor in, Parkour still has to pit again. because Parkour will probably get a puncture if she tries to go to the end. Viking Fox, so getting very close to the rear of Doug on that occasion. I've got to say, Doug's impressing. I know he hasn't stopped yet, but he's been keeping pace with the likes of ARC Mickey, for example. And okay, Mickey may say, well, I've not had a particularly good race, but still, that's no mean feat here by Doug. Iceman 86, meanwhile, getting through on Woody. And I can just have a look back towards Mr. Potwash behind Angry Badger. Dutch Beast involved in this squabble as well. Viking Fox does now overtake Doug. And up into P8 goes the Haas. But yeah, Parkour still needing to make an additional stop, which will be interesting in this race. Boy Knockout going for the move on ARC Mickey up into P5. These drivers have to work together. The likes of Parkour, the likes of Boy Knockout, the likes of Viking Fox, and potentially Epic Frenchie if he can catch up. If they can work together, that is what they need to do. Parkour gets ahead of Mickey. And ARC Mickey probably is going to fight this like crazy, simply knowing because Parkour has to pit again. I think Mickey will know that Parkour has to pit again. Yeah, Parkour strategy tonight. I'd say it's off. And if Parkour wins, the only reason why she's able to win is because of pace. It's not been because of the strategy. The strategy ain't going to win her the race. The pace may win her the race. It's the only thing. Or a safety car. A safety car or the pace will win Parkour the race, not the strategy. Because the strategy is far from quick for Parkour, sadly. So yeah, let's see the gap to the leader again. 7.3. I mean, she is catching, but at what stage will she go for that pit stop? And you do presume she's surely going to have to pit again. She can't go that long on those medium tyres, not on this track. And these drivers here just stay together. And Parkour's in now. So Parkour, I did say she's going to have to stop again. She's going for the hard tyres. Oh yeah, she had to go hards. What a strategy, oh my god. That's Parkour just on medium hard. Nah, there's no way. Parkour's just on medium hard. You can go 19... I mean, I've done it plenty of times on this game. You can go 19 laps on hard, 10 laps on mediums. And yet Parkour's only going to do 12 laps on the hards. Okay, the likes of Silky Stevens, Warrener, Gandalf, Drac. If you're smart, you'll be looking to pit very soon, I think. Parkour was the one driver there to watch out for. Look how far back Parkour is now from those who have pitted already. Now, if we get the gap to the leader on again, just to make it a bit clearer. Parkour is about 30 seconds from the leader. And Parkour is, what, 11.5 seconds behind Boy Knockout? You see what I'm going with the strategy? The strategy's not winning Parkour this race, but the pace may win her the race. So we'll see how it unfolds for her, but strategy tonight, not been good for Parkour, I have to say. But that's what I was talking about, just how much time you're going to lose doing a two-stop. Again, simply because your second pit stop window is very similar to those who are on the hard to medium strategy anyway. You're going to be pitting at a similar point, and that is exactly what Parkour's done on the second pit stop. For me, that's pretty mental, that the two stops been done in that way, but the game does give you a default two-stop strategy, but it's nowhere near the quickest. Right, let's go. We're just going to quickly move up to the lead, but Silky stays ahead of Warren Leffel. Viking Fox with ARC Mickey. Epic Frenchie's in there as well. Frenchie's 3-second penalty for Epic Frenchie. Whether or not he'll try to appeal, that remains to be seen, but ARC Mickey has also lost the place to Epic Frenchie, and they have got DRS as well, so Frenchie stays ahead of Mickey now, and up into P8. And Parkour, 8 seconds back from this battle here. So, sadly for Parkour, well, she needs a bit of a miracle to get herself back into the race. Into the pits goes Doug, and into the pits goes Mr. Potwash for the first time this evening. Yeah, it wouldn't shock me now the likes of Silky and the likes of Warrener think about pitting for mediums at this stage. They might go another lap, though. They might go another lap. We'll see what happens, though. Another lap, I think they'll be okay. But they want to be careful. What's the gap now to Parkour? Gap is 27 seconds. So obviously it is coming down as you would anticipate. Obviously Parkour's got pace, but also Parkour is on much fresher tyres now. So it does make sense, and the hards will comfortably get parkour to the end, as our Epic Frenchie makes a move on Viking Fox. Perhaps not the smartest of places to go for the overtake into turns 14 and 15, but either way, that is the situation that has occurred there. But yeah, for anybody who is interested in the esports team, the Bird and Pesci have kickstarted their qualifying session. There's about 8 minutes remaining at this moment in time. Pesci is currently in P7 and the Bird is in P12. 14 drivers in that qualifying session. They are at the Netherlands. The quickest time right now is a 108.362. Pesci is set at 108.652. The Bird set at 108.804. So those are your stipulations there. Currently P7 and P12 for Pesci and the Bird. Right. Iceman, Woody, DD friend losing out here. And there you go, Woody going side by side with Iceman 86. And Woody now finding his way through. I think Woody Fernandez will be a little bit disappointed that he's not able to stick with these guys. But look at the quadruple set of drivers. The quadlet going through. And Woody stays ahead of Iceman barely. And down the inside, that's a move by Doug. Has sent it on DD friend. And he has gone ahead of DD. And up into P14 goes Mr. Douglas. Let's go back up the field towards Epic Frenchie then. He is still behind Viking Fox. And they are ahead of ARC Mickey. Parkour is certainly catching them though. So that's the other situation. Parkour is catching. How long are Silky and Warren really going to go on those hard tyres? I mean, I'm a bit surprised they've gone up to lap 20. I thought they may have pitted a lap or two ago. But there you go. They've gone even longer on those hard tyres. You don't want to leave yourself with too little time, because drivers like Boy Knockout, Viking and Frenchie, these guys don't have to pit again. These guys can go to the end on those hard tyres. I can guarantee you. How do I know that? Well, one, personal experience, but two, Silky, Warren and Gandalf, look how many laps they've done. They've done almost 20. Boy Knockout, Viking, Epic Frenchie, guess how many laps they're going to have to do? About 20. There you go. I think that maths up, doesn't it? But yes. We'll give you another update in a few minutes' time on the esports stuff anyways. Let's get back to see what's happening on the stream. Glory Douglas says Ziggy. He's in P14 ahead of DD, of course, having made that overtake. Woody Fernandez is starting to catch back up, though, in P16. Maybe the Mercedes are looking for a number one driver, and Rotti obviously not racing this evening. Not ideal for the Mercedes camp player. They are going to be losing out on points. And both Silky and Warren is in. And Gandalf also into the pits here. So pit stops are being formed. And now we will start to have net race leaders here. This is going to be where the race heats up. Because everybody is Mickey pitting as well. Yes, he is. They are all in for their pit stops. And they are going for softs. They're going for soft tyres. Lads, I think you might have just lost this race. Soft tyres for like 9 laps. Ouch. You might think 9 laps on softs ain't too bad. But at Bahrain... Oh, I'm not sure on that strategy for Silky and Warrener and Gandalf and Drac. I think you should have gone mediums personally. And Mickey's gone mediums. I think Mickey's on the better strategy call personally. Obviously, he's probably not going to finish ahead of those soft runners because he's just too far back from them. But I would have probably said even now, medium tyres are the best bet. Yeah, soft tyres, they are going to struggle in a few laps time even. So good luck to them. But then again, the offset is that other drivers on hards. But are they giving this win now to Parkour by going for soft tyres? That's the question. For me, they should have gone for the more durable mediums. Mediums would have easily got them to the end without having a pace offset. Now they may struggle. Yellow flag. So that is for Woody in the Haas. Just dropping into P16 there. Right, let's go to Epic Frenchie. He's directly behind Viking Fox. Boy Knockout was still in a pretty decent position here. But, again, I did say it, the strategy won't win the race for Parkour, but the pace may win the race for Parkour. And we are possibly seeing that in motion here. P5, but on fresher hards than the top 3. And Salty Stevens as well. But Salty's got 10-second penalty. Frenchie's, I think, has got 3. I want to check on that. Not that one. There. 3 seconds, yeah. But I think Silky Stevens... Well, he's going to be quick off the start here. He's going to try and get these overtakes as quickly as possible. As Epic Frenchie draws alongside Viking Fox. Not able to get the move, and this gives a chance here to Silky. Silky will get the grip that he needs, and he does go down the inside here with Silky Stevens on those soft tyres. Side by side with Epic Frenchie on the outside line. He has got himself through on Frenchie and up into 3rd position. He will have a look now, overtaking Viking Fox here to get himself into P2. The soft tyres will work right now for Silky, and he does power his way through on Viking, and up into 2nd position he goes. There you go, Silky Stevenson is making the moves early on these soft tyres. Mediums ain't that bad here. They don't go too long, don't get me wrong, but they do go 10 to 12 laps. Soft tyres won't get you 10 laps, that's for sure. But I am interested to see how long the softs will work for the likes of Silky and for Warren. I think those two in particular, because they are still ahead of Parkour. But this race is certainly going to get intriguing now with the different strategies on offer. You've got those fresh softs versus the older hards. And then you've got Parkour on the mid-hard tyre, effectively, with only 6 laps on those tyres. Gandalf and Salty are having a bit of a squabble. And it looks like, a little bit of contact between the pairing. But Salty Stevens has got himself up into 8th. But not for much longer, potentially. Gandalf has a look, but stays in behind in 9th place there. Salty Stevens riding over the curb to hold the place down. We're going to have to drop back. I'll go up the field towards Frenchie, defending from Warner. Warner goes down the inside. Parkour is watching, and Parkour may very well get involved here. Does Parkour have a look on the inside of Epic Frenchie? No. And Parkour remains in P6, still about 6.5 laps of racing to go here. Salty and Gandalf continue their battle, and Warner now down the inside on Viking Fox, and Warner gets his move. Warner up onto the podium in P3. Silky Stevens is charging towards Boy Knockout. The gap down to 3.4 seconds, and Parkour overtakes Epic Frenchie, and into the top 5 now goes Parkour. You have got 5 strong contenders here. Boy Knockout, Silky Stevens, Warner, Viking and Parkour. Potentially the likes of the Alpine pairing of Jack and Gandalf could get involved as well in a battle for the podium. So it's all up for grabs. The victory, the podium, the top 5 and the top 10. Where ARC Mickey currently holds it ahead of Dutch Beast. But down the inside, Viking Fox attacking Warner again this time. Having just gained a place, Warner, he won't want to lose it. Parkour still heavily involved in this squabble as well. Who's got DRS? That's Warner. Warner down the inside on Viking. Has he got the overtake this time? They're still side by side. And this could be frustrating for Parkour, because all of this battle, or all of this battling rather, will just lose Parkour time to the top 2 at this moment in time. It goes down the inside. Parkour's had enough, sending it on Viking Fox side by side, and has Parkour got the move round the outside? Little bit of contact, but Viking hold on, but goes in too deep. Parkour is into the top 4. Through she goes, and Viking drops the trail and is down into 5th. Woody takes a fast lap in P18, as he typically does. But Parkour now has given herself a chance at the victory, despite a poor strategy. Has she got a chance of the win tonight? We're going to see if she can deliver. We're going to drop towards the Alpine of Destroyer Drac, who is tracking down Epic Frenchie. And this could be a battle. Just checking on the esports right now. So Pesci has qualified, well, he's gone 10th. The Bird is P13. That is out of 15 drivers. Not as quick as I was hoping they would be, I'm going to be honest. But the qualifying times there are quick in general. They are low 108s. 108.3s, for example, for a few drivers in there. Some are even quicker than that. So very quick in those qualifying times at Zandvoort. But there you go, boy knockout. 3/10 now to Silky. Let's go up towards this. We have to, as Jack was attacking Viking Fox. But a battle for the victory is on here, where Silky Stevens is now caught up to boy knockout. And how long can he keep these soft tyres together for? If he can keep them together for long enough, he will come away with the victory. But he's got to be mindful of the likes of Parkour in particular. Parkour is still a threat in this race. Silky drops behind Boy Knockout and remains in P2. Thing is, right now, Boy Knockout is just going to be holding Silky Stevens up here until Silky can make the overtake down the straight. And you don't want to be overtaking here. There's no advantage for Silky Stevens in overtaking before the DRS. And he has been smart about it and just stays in behind. But he has to make the move here on this straight. He has to be leading into turn 1. And he will be leading into turn 1 because Silky Stevens pulls to the right hand side and makes the move on Boy Knockout, leading the Grand Prix again, Silky Stevens. And on those soft tyres, how long will they last him before they drop off? Are they going to last long enough? Destroyer Jacklow down the inside on Viking Fox, up into 5th position he goes. And Viking just losing out an Epic Frenchie there as well. Frenchie with Gandalf behind them. Epic Frenchie though is attacking Viking, unable to get the move. But yeah, Gandalf has now got involved in this. As a bit deep there goes Viking. And Frenchie goes for the switchback. Has he completed a switchback? Side by side, a bit of contact. Viking's got himself through. That may very well go to the stewards there. The contact between Viking and Epic Frenchie. Yes, certainly contact between a pairing, quite heavy contact as well, and has given Gandalf a chance here. Has he taken a trick? He's gone down the inside on Epic Frenchie. He is into 7th place. Yellow flags for, it looks like Angry Badger again, unfortunately. But Gandalf passing Frenchie. Woody retires into the pits there. No points for his Haas. Potwash bypasses Badger meanwhile. Those two are scrapping it out, but Gandalf up into P7 on those soft tyres now. Let's head back up to the lead of the Grand Prix. And you can see Boy Knockout struggling to keep with Silky here. Warner 2.6, Parkour 1.3. The gaps aren't exactly particularly close. And it looks like Silky Stevens, he just has to hang on for 3 more laps. That is it. That's all he has to do. 3 laps and it will be victory to Silky Stevens. After a podium he completed in round 1, can he get the win in round 2? And Silky Stevens could be a potentially surprise title contender here in Tier 2. I mean, we never really saw this particular form last season, and all of a sudden, Silky Stevens is looking like a very talented, very skilled Tier 2 driver, very quick as well. And getting the strategy right compared to, say, a Parkour who, with all the pace, has got the strategy wrong. Salty Stevens, though, down inside on Epic Frenchie, gets ahead and up into P8. These two both for penalties, don't forget. And Gandalf now behind Viking. And now having a look around the outside. Has to drop in behind. Does get DRS, but it won't be enough for Gandalf to get through as they head up into turn 11. So just has to settle for P7 for now. Warren a 2.3 Parkour, still not gaining, but Parkour's now at a point where she's also not losing time. The gap to the leader there, 4.4 seconds between Silky Stevens and Parkour. Yeah, Parkour just needs to make sure she's not losing too much time here. But the issue is, she is still losing a little bit of time, 4.7 seconds, but here comes Gandalf. Down the straight into turn 1. He's got to get himself ahead here, ahead of Viking Fox, and he is going to. He switches to the outside line. Viking will try and defend on the inside. He is going to defend it. They're almost going 3 wide. They are going 3 wide because you've also got the Williams or Salty involved in this. Don't forget, Salty's got a 10-second penalty. Not sure how wise it is to go all out. Or has he still got that 10 seconds? I'm going to check in a moment. But look at this. It's almost 4 wide. It's 3 wide, though, between Salty, Viking and Frenchie. This ain't going to end well. No, it was never going to go well. And Frenchie, sadly, has got the bulk of things. It was never going to occur there. 3 wide into those corners was never going to be a success story. And sadly for Epic Frenchie, he was the one who lost out there. But Salty Viking and Frenchie, not sure you want to be going 3 wide into that corner. It's near impossible. I mean, going 2 wide is tough enough. 3 wide is a no-no. Right, and now you can see, by the way, look at those timings. Parkour is now beginning to close on the leaders. It's 3.8 seconds, and that's the problem. It's not going to be enough because we are going to be heading onto the penultimate lap, and now we're going to be heading onto the final lap of the Grand Prix. A 1-lap shootout where Silky Stevens, if he can keep his tyres together, will take the victory at the Bahrain Grand Prix. I still do wonder if he went to the mediums, maybe he could have been able to make sure they lasted long enough. Yeah, I think he's just about got it though. Just about, because the hard tyres have gone too long for Boy Knockout, for example. But Parkour is in a good position here because Parkour could still get a podium from this. Warner is under pressure and Parkour may get P3, but then Boy Knockout ahead of them. Boy Knockout's got Warner in DRS range, and then it's Parkour. I'm not certain Parkour is going to find this particularly easy to overtake Warner for that last spot on the podium even. But a poor strategy from Parkour. Can she get a podium out of this poor strategy? It's looking unlikely. Can she make a move into turn 11? No, she cannot. And Parkour, once again, is stagnated in behind Warner and just has to remain put for P4. She may have one final opportunity, a stab at the dark for a spot on the podium, and she gets the exit. She is going to potentially put alongside Silky Stevens, will get the victory, but side by side go Parkour and Warner. Final spot on the podium. Warner stays ahead. Yes, he does. Silky Stevens wins the Bahrain Grand Prix. Boy Knockout second. Warner beats Parkour to the final spot on the podium. Just as Parkour was beginning to pick up the pace again. Just missing out right at the end there on what looks to be a final race in Tier 2. Destroyer Jack P5, Gandalf gets P6, the 2 Alpines there, a double top 6 for them. Viking Fox settles in for a 7th place there. Salty Stevens P8 and Epic Frenchie drops in behind ARC Mickey. Mickey P9, Frenchie narrowly losing out in the end for a P10. Dutch Beast will come home. It's going to be a respectful P11 for him. Then you got Doug in P12 is an Aston Martin v Mercedes, really. And it's P12 for Doug, P13 for Iceman, and P14 for Willie Fernandez. And then you've got the Visa RB of Mr. Potwash, P15. His former teammate, Angry Badger, the Ferrari team principal, will come home in P16. And the last driver will be the McLaren of DD Fend, who will come home in P17. But we head to the winner. That is, of course, Silky Stevens. Incredible stuff from him, though. I mean, again, after a podium last week and a victory tonight, is Silky Stevens a championship contender? That's what we have to question. But again, the full race classification will be up in just a moment. But yeah, quite remarkable. So the podium celebrations are there for you. Kick Sauber, you've got the Williams, and you've got the Visa RB as well. That is your top 3, though. And all very much chuffed with that one. I think a couple may be disappointed, but Silky Stevens to get that engine penalty and take the victory. Wow, what a performance. That must be one of the best performances that we're going to see in a long time in UFRL. To take a victory from that position, absolutely incredible drive. Boy Knockout comes home in P2 for the Visa RB. Warner in 3rd place, and Parkour, a poor strategy means she only comes home in 4th. Should really have won that race if she went for the 1 stop. Destroyer Jack P5, Gandalf P6, 2 Alpines. I think they'll still be satisfied with that. Viking Fox P7, Salty P8, Mickey P9, Epic Frenchie, the final driver on the podium. Beast Doug, Iceman William, Potwash Badger, and DD Friend, the final driver to finish. Woody and EM retiring from the Bahrain Grand Prix. I'm just going to see if anybody does want to have an interview. If anybody wants to pop into the interview room, I imagine Silky Stevens surely would, because it only makes sense. Why would you not want to have an interview after a performance like that? Has to be the question. Get the interviews going, says Deck. Let's see, we'll pop on the interview screen then and just have a look if they do wish to join it. Yeah, you would expect them to want to join, right? I'll make a rare appearance. Well, it's good that we'll get you in there, though. Make sure we've got all the race result stuff as well. Yeah. Right, let's head. We'll wait and see if anybody else, especially from the podium sitters, wants to drop into the interview room or not. If not, we can just give Silky the interview if they do want to. Wovena and Boy Knockout, and obviously we'll give them an interview as well. Wouldn't mind speaking to Parkour, you know. I wonder if Parkour wants to have an interview. I wouldn't mind speaking to Parkour actually. On her final tier 2 race. Why not give her the interview for that one? Yeah, indeed, Silky. Right, shall we start off then? We will start off the interview then. Let's just make sure we're in. I just check that we can be heard. So we will get straight in with the interview. Good evening to your race winner this evening, Silky Stevens.
Hello, you alright?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I imagine you're very happy.
I'm very happy. I'm very tired. It was draining, mate. But yeah, very, very
Yeah,
happy with that
it
one.
was. Well, let's start off because obviously you got the engine penalty and straight away in qualifying you got that disqualification for
Yeah,
the pit lane. But let's just say that was the worst thing that happened this evening for you.
definitely. Yeah, I mean, it was bad because I think I underfueled by like a lap. So the whole race, I was literally fuel saving. I think it was from like sort of lap 10. So that didn't help either. So I was having to go so slow. Luckily, the strategy worked. So shout out to Deck. He sorted me out big time with that one. So yeah, we won in the end from P19. So that is a record.
That's quite mad, I've got to say. So yeah, obviously Pete, how did you find the start of the race? Because you were picking up some places.
Wow, it's I think I went from P19 to like P7 in like the first corner. Because everyone broke really, really early. I was like, why are they breaking so early? So I literally just went down the outside and just the corner was mine basically. So
I think your brother
no
cut the corner
contact.
as well.
So I was happy.
Yeah, your brother cut the corner at turn 1 as well. So
I
yeah,
thought he did. I saw he had a 10-second time penalty. I was
yeah,
like,
he did.
I know what's happened there.
You knew he cut the corner. Yeah, he just literally went straight off at turn 1. Couldn't believe it.
It's got to be done, I suppose. Where did he come in the end?
Oh, let's have a look at the results. Salty Stevens finished in P8.
That's not too bad, I suppose. I think he started in what was it, P6, P7?
Yeah, he started above you. Yeah, P10.
Yeah. Okay.
He couldn't
That's
start
not
below
too
you
bad.
in a way.
No, that would be impossible.
But yeah, in terms of the race, so yes, as you said, you picked up loads of places from the start, and then obviously from there you're like, oh, I'm quite firmly in this top 10. You started on the hards and decided to go as long as possible.
Yeah, but I mean, I'll be honest. I think I could have went a few more laps on the hards because they actually felt like not too bad. Lap 20. So I just sort of stuck on them. And the softs were absolutely fine until sort of lap 29. And yeah, one
Yeah,
stop's definitely doable there, which is good for future
it is.
races.
It is. I mean, I've never actually done a 2-stop layer because I know you just lose so much
Yeah,
time compared to the
exactly. Yeah, I think Parker on 2-stop.
1. Yeah,
Yeah. Where was Parker P3?
4. P4.
P4. Oh, okay.
Nearly got P3.
I was gonna say yeah. It's not too bad really because I mean the two stop you just lose way too much time.
You do. So the fact that she done the two stop, I mean, I'm not taking it away from what you've done, but if she'd done a one stop, surely
Oh
she would have
God,
won
yeah.
that. I mean,
Oh,
jeez.
easily, yeah, definitely.
Oh well.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
I mean, like I said, I had to fuel save from like so early, so
mm,
like, I mean, you probably saw like I kept letting. I think it was possibly Drac back into a DRS.
yeah,
Might have been
yeah, yeah,
Drac or someone, but that was just because I was having to like come off the brake so early, and it was just it was impossible to actually go quick, basically.
yeah. I'm gonna be honest. That's probably the first time I've ever heard anyone start P19, finish P1, and say they were fuel saving for that long as
I
well.
know, I know, I know. It's. I mean, yeah, it's terrible. But just think, I was only that quick because I was so so under fueled. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and got that many
But
places as well. Because if let's
yeah,
say ARC Mickey, for example, he was stuck in that backpack pretty much through those first
mm,
few laps, so he was struggling to find his way through. If you were in
exactly. I
that
think.
situation, you would have been nowhere
Oh
near.
God, yeah, it would have been. Yeah, I would not have
Mm.
won in the end. Like I said, luckily I did like cut. I think honestly, I must have overtook like more than 10 cars in that first corner. So
That's
that's what pretty much won me the race, I'd say. Otherwise, I would have
that's.
lost so many seconds.
I'm trying to think. I think it might have been Epic Frenchy who literally did. I think he overtook 10 drivers into turns
God.
1, 2 at Monza last week. So you
Yeah,
pretty much just done hit what he did, maybe, well, even better probably because it's in
I
dry as
think,
well.
yeah, I'll have to check, but I think I went up to P7, so
Wow, yeah, that's
I'm
mad.
pretty sure. But
Mm,
I will have to check that. But yeah,
there is. I imagine
not
that
too
might
bad.
end up in a showroom,
It's got
gaining
to,
that
I
many
think.
places.
Be rude not to.
Yeah, but yeah, and then so let's say when no, well that last when he made that pit stop for the soft tires, obviously you favour the softs over the mediums. I found that an interesting decision as well.
Yeah. I just thought, sod it. Like, why not?
Mm,
Because I mean, the way I saw it is that I started P19, so I was like, if I finish P3, P4, I'm still very happy with it. So I was like, I'll try the softs. They didn't seem too bad. I noticed Salty. He was behind me sort of lap 10, and his softs were still not too bad. So I was like, okay, so I know they'll last until lap 10. So then I just thought I can easily make them last, especially with fuel saving. So I was like, I'll just stick on the softs and won
mm.
won me the race in the end.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, yeah, the strategy was a strong one for you. Obviously, so you weren't that aware of parkour then, by the sounds of things.
No, I'll be honest. I was so locked in. I literally was just driving fast and trying to fuel save. I wasn't even like sort of looking at the timing board.
I know the problem. You couldn't look in the bottom left or the top left because you had to look in the bottom left, the bottom right all the
Yeah,
time.
basically, yeah, literally. It was like I think probably most of the race it was like minus 0.7. I think it was.
Wow.
So I was like, okay, I need to get this down, otherwise I am absolutely screwed. So
And that obviously
I
worked.
yeah, basically. So sorry if I scared P2 a few times. He probably thought he was going to crash into me, but there we go.
Well, there you go. But yeah, honestly, man, a fantastic performance, and I would say probably one of the greatest performances we've seen in UFRL history, I would want to say. I mean,
Oh, thank you very much, Sheila. I
you're
appreciate that.
welcome. I mean, P19 to
Oh,
P1. I mean, yeah, not many have done that, that's for sure.
that's true. That's true.
So
I'm
yeah,
gonna have to pin it up on the wall somewhere, mate.
yeah, how many wins have you got now in here?
That's my first one.
That's there you go. The fact that that's your
I've got
first ever win and you got
races,
P19 to
so
P1. I wasn't too
yeah.
sure. I was thinking out because I'm there thinking, when have you won before? So
I
wow.
think I should have won the car, but the safety car messed me up. And that was
Yeah.
it really. I think the rest is like I've just been outraced, but yeah, that is
Mm,
my first official win. I mean, it's
that's
weird because I I'm in another league and it's my first win there last week, so I'm just having a good year. I think, to be fair.
yeah. I mean, well, let's also talk now because you got a podium last week, got a win this
Yeah,
week. Are
Yeah.
you sort of looking at that championship now?
Uh, I think so. Yeah. I mean, Gandalf obviously is definitely going to be up there. I think Parkour definitely will be if she stays in Div 2.
Yeah, crossed off.
Um, yeah, I mean, there's like Drac. He's really quick.
Mm.
There's a lot of really quick. I mean, even I hate to say it, Salty Stevens.
I knew you were.
He might even be up there. So
I
it's
knew you were
yeah,
going to say that.
we'll see.
But yeah.
Hopefully though, hopefully. But then
Mm,
Div 1's like a whole different ball game. But
very true, very true. But yeah, honestly, again, what a drive from you. You were absolutely brilliant tonight, and I would say a well-deserved victory after that performance, man.
thank you very much, mate.
You're welcome. There you go. That was your superb race winner, Silky Stevens. P19 to P1 and fuel saving as well. That is unbelievable. And it is a victory for him. I'm sure once that gets uploaded onto the YouTube, he is going to be watching that every single day for the rest of his life. No, I'm joking. Maybe not too far, but yeah, incredible result. In terms of other drivers wanting interviews, it doesn't look like it. Again, I would have liked to have been able to speak to Parkour. I don't know if Parkour's watching the stream or not, but it would be good to be able to speak to her if she wanted to, of course. Just because I would like to speak to her about the strategy choice. Um, I would definitely love to ask about the two stop and why she didn't go for the one stop, but it doesn't look like, yeah, doesn't look like she's going to be doing one. Either way, though, it would leave a call, and that would pretty much be it then for the tier 2 race and the interview tonight. Again, congratulations to Silky Stevens. What a mesmerizing performance by him, and well deserving victory as well. Following that up from a podium last week, so he is right in form and a possible championship contender. Silky Stevens. I think Ziggy is the team principal at Kick Sauber, and I've got to say, he must be looking at that thinking, wow, have I just signed a top driver there? I mean, you may have saw signs of it last season where Silky Stevens had good pace, maybe just didn't quite get the results, but all of a sudden this season, he looks like a different driver. I mean, incredible how it's working out. But yeah, let's have a look then what we have going for us this week, starting with Tier 3 tomorrow night, 8 o'clock p.m. And that will be held at the Canadian Grand Prix. We'll be heading to North America. Friday night, 100% race, of course. And this time on Friday, 8 o'clock p.m., no hard tyre race at Mexico. Again, continuing the theme of North America for a couple of races. And then we head to the international tier on Saturday, and we'll be heading to South America because we'll be heading to Interlagos for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Monday, 8 o'clock p.m. next week, it'll be a mystery track for round 3. And then our track for next Tuesday in Tier 2 will be the United States Grand Prix, the Circuit of the Americas, or Texas, whichever one you want to go by. But that is your race for Tier 2 next week. That'll be round 3 of 12. But yeah, Circuit of the Americas for those Tier 2 drivers interested in your next track. But for tonight, Silky Stevens taking home the victory after serving an engine penalty from P19 to P1, one of the most legendary victories of all, one of the greatest comebacks of all, and probably one of the best turn ones of all as well. Incredible drive, victory for Silky Stevens, and that has been your Tier 2 race this evening. We have been UFRL, I have been UFRL F1 Viva. Thank you for watching, and good night.